Happy today, everyone. Welcome to I Have Today. I'm your host, Diane Forster. And on this show, we talk about the art of intentional living. And today I am very excited about our show because I have a very special friend and guest that I want to introduce you to that I met about a year ago. And so our topic today is that Hollywood needs more talent. And my expert today is Diane Strand, and she is a serial entrepreneur. She's going to talk about that. She's also an executive producer. She's worked on shows in the past like General Hospital, Friends, and Veronica's Closet, to name a few. And she's done and is doing so many other things. We're going to talk about her acting studio, her production company, the nonprofit she's working for. She's doing so many things. The curriculum she's created. She's a powerhouse. And I got to meet Diane about a year ago. We were in a community, a coaching community together. And we've really supported one another. In fact, she's part of the Chamber of Commerce in Temecula, and they have an annual event that she is on the committee for and recommended me to be one of the speakers. So I was honored and humbled to speak at that event, which happened a couple of weeks ago, called Women in Business, and it was about back in business. And so I wanted to share her with you because talent like this needs to be exposed, and her gifts and how many careers she's launched is just incredible. So we're going to get into that all in just a minute. So I wanted to share with you today that we're talking about that Hollywood needs more talent. And it's not just Hollywood that needs more talent. The world needs more talent. We are creative beings. We came here to create. We want to expand that. We want to use all our talents and gifts to inspire, empower, educate, entertain our fans and followers that are waiting for us. That's what it's all about. And so we're going to talk a lot about that. But before I do that, let me get into our intention statement for this week. And our intention statement is, I have today to become the star I was born to be. Okay? We were all born to be stars. It's not just for the select few. We all have special, unique gifts that we're supposed to be sharing with the world. And Diane helps people do that and illuminate that. And hopefully I do a little bit of that too. And I want that to be your mantra for the week. I want you to know that you are supposed to shine like the bright star that you are, and that you should be illuminating that in everything that you do, whatever it is you do, whatever your quote unquote stage or platform is. I'm going to share a little bit later about something that I'm doing. I'm helping TV hosts launch their show. So we'll talk about that later, because there are a lot of people out there who don't think that this is possible. They think it's for somebody else and not for them. They think you've got to have, X number of years of experience to do this. They think they might be too old to do this, or too young to do this, or too busy to do this. And that's not the case at all. You can have and design any kind of life that you want. It can truly be anything you want. If you would have asked me 10 years ago when I was living the life that I was living, if you would have said to me, Diane, you're going to be a TV host, you're going to win awards, you're going to be speaking, you're going to be, multiple best-selling author, you're going to be doing all of these things, I would have said, you are so crazy. I never would have thought that was possible. I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that anything is possible. And it's people like Diane Strand and her husband, Scott. She'll talk about, their partnership together and who he is. He's an actor as well, how they've been able to do this and really help and support this industry and this community and help launch these careers and help so many other people, people with disabilities, so many ways that there are no limits and no excuses for you to shine like the bright star you are. All right. So what the team and I do with the intention statement is every week on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, we create a beautiful graphic with this week's intention statement on it. And it's our intention statement this week is, I have today to become the star I was born to be. And what I want you to do is go to my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official, Give me a follow if you're not following me there, but go to that little button that says wallpapers because this graphic is already there. I want you to take a screenshot of it and then use it as your screensaver for this week so that every time you look at your phone, you are reminded of this. This is how we change the programming and the limiting beliefs in our minds, is to have these reminders, these constant reminders. So that's one way we've been able to do it. And that's one way I can offer it to you so that you see it over and over and over again, because you look at your phone on average 150 times a day. Did you know that? So that's over 1,000 times a week. So go there and take it. Take a screenshot of it and start looking at it. And I hope that you are inspired, empowered today to move in action towards shining like the bright star that you are and you deserve to be once Diane starts sharing everything with you. All right. So before we get into our interview with Diane, I just want to tell you one quick manifestation story. So this is a magical manifestation moment that sometimes I like to share these with you, and we love to get them from you too. So team alert, we might need to pull up that banner at the end of my story here. I'm just going to take a quick minute to tell you this story. The power of intention and manifestation, and this is related to what we're talking about today, which is why I want to share this story. So this weekend, I was lucky enough to go up to LA and attend a Mind Valley event. And if you don't know what Mind Valley is, Google it. It's one of the fastest growing online education companies that's founded by Vishen Lakhiani. And he's on a mission to touch the lives of 1 billion people. And it's in personal development. And so about 3 weeks ago, I was on the phone with a girlfriend. We were having a virtual happy hour and we were on the phone for hours. I think we were on the phone for about 5 hours. I've never been on the phone that long, but we talked about so many things. We're very supportive of one another. And I love conversations like that and friendships and relationships like that. We did not gossip about anybody. We talked about how we can support each other, ways to better our lives, ways to better the world. It was a great conversation. And then, what we want in our lives, how to manifest it. And one of the things I said to her on the phone, of the many things that I said, is, I feel like I'm going to meet Vishen Lakhiani, and I feel like I'm going to be a Mind Valley teacher or a speaker. I just feel like that's coming. I don't know where it came from, but I told her that. And she said to me, "Oh, you need to put that on your vision board." So I said, "You're right, but my vision board is already complete." I mean, I'm so anal. You guys know my sisters call me Diane. My vision board is done. It's got everything on there. It's framed. So I took a Post-it note, and all I wrote on the Post-it note was Vishen and me. I'm in the process of becoming a Mind Valley teacher. Okay. So I'm going to shortcut the story because I don't have the time for all the magnetic, amazing, beautiful orchestration of the universe, how they made this happen. But anyway, a week ago, I got invited to go out to dinner with some friends here in San Diego. There were some people in from out of town who have never met in person. And they said, "Could you go to dinner on Saturday night?" I said, "I can't. I'm going to be in LA with my high school best friends. We've had this date on the calendar for months and months and months. And we're going to see David Spade." So that David Spade in concert is happening it was happening in the Fashion District in downtown LA, which I'm not really familiar with, but that's where the event was. So anyway, when I said I couldn't go to the dinner in San Diego with the other women, one of them sent me a private message and she said, "Diane, I hear you're going to LA. Are you going to Vishen's event?" Didn't even know about the event. So I immediately go online. I Google Vishen LA, and sure enough, it pops up that he is in town for this one day. He's hosting this one day event. The event is from 10 a.m. till 7 o'clock at night. David Spade starts at 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh my God, this is too perfect. Wait, where is this event Vishen's doing? It was less than a mile away from where the theater was, where David Spade was going to be. Talk about the universe bringing this in. How powerful is that story? So, of course, I went to the event. I didn't get a chance to meet Vishen, and here's why. I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do because he was just being mobbed. There were over 1,000 people there. So, But what I realized when I got there, that the reason I was supposed to go, of course, was to go to the event and see Vision live and see all the speakers, but it was to meet my friend, Marie Diamond, who I've had on the show before, who we've been trying to get together, and the timing hasn't worked out. And she just happened to be in the US getting her daughter all set up for college, and she attended this event. And the reason I was supposed to be there was so that we can hug each other in person and make plans. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this. So anyway, I wanted to share that story with you because this is the power of intention. This is the power of manifestation. I put that out in the universe to my girlfriend. She was nothing but supportive and said, you need to put it on your vision board. And I said to her, well, all right, I'll just create the Post-it note. Now, since I did that, I said to her, no, you know what? I need to create a vision board. I put vision board on a Post-it after I bought the ticket to the event. And I put a picture of me and Vision when I met him 4 years ago. I put some pictures of Mind Valley. I wrote Mind Valley teacher on there, Mind Valley speaker. I put a picture of me speaking and I put the Mind Valley logo on it and a bunch of other pictures on there. That is my board to manifest it. Now I'm totally releasing it, letting it go, knowing it's going to unfold exactly how it's supposed to, but I fully intend to be on the stage of the Mind Valley Live event that's happening next year in Estonia. So I will keep you posted on that. All right. So if you have powerful manifestation stories, we want to hear them. So in order to send them to us, Cherry, do you have that link for people to write in and send us their magical manifestation stories? There it is. No, that's the challenge. That's the wrong one. It might just be info@dianeforster.com. So send your stories to us at info@dianeforster.com. So we would love to share your stories right here live. Sorry, sometimes I throw the team some, curveballs. So it's just the way it is. So, all right. So now we're going to hear a word from our sponsor, the Spifter, and then we will have Diane Strand in the studio. Here we go. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Well, hey there, Diane. Nice to see you. I see your mic is muted, so let's get you unmuted.
Thank you so much. So glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, I'm so honored to have you, and I love the double Dianes today. So great.
I do too. Well, two's always better than one. So
that is the truth, girl. Okay. Well, before we get into the interview, I want to share a little bit about you with the audience, as your resume is so fantastic. So Diane Strand is an award-winning executive producer at JDS Studios and the TV show Spirit of Innovation, the first Riverside County local news and information program. She's the majority owner of JDS Video and Media Productions, JDS Actors Studio, and the founder of nonprofit JDS Creative Academy. She is also a best-selling author on entrepreneurship and breaking into the industry as an actor. And I have Diane's book right here, and I know she has a copy as well. We're going to talk about that. Diane provides pathways for career opportunities in the visual, performing, and digital arts. Her passion for workforce development in the arts led her to write 2 approved curriculums for video production. One is a Title 17 program designed for adults with developmental disabilities. The other is a California state-approved apprenticeship program for college graduates. These programs provide hands-on training along with paid supported internship opportunities designed to break down the barriers of gainful employment in video production, post-production, and in acting And there's so much more that we're going to talk about. But wow, Diane, so impressive. So
Oh,
impressive. Yeah,
thank you so much.
you are so welcome. So Diane, how did you get into this industry? What is the backstory?
Well, as a famous quote that you can't connect the dots looking forward, you have to look back. And, my initial dot goes all the way back to second grade. And I really pull a few things out of second grade that are so true and pivotal into what it is that I'm working on today. Because in second grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia and I was a struggling reader. And what I really wanted to do was be in the school play for Betsy and play Betsy Ross. And and I taught myself how to read when everyone was saying that I couldn't do it. I put my photographic memory into place and I played Betsy Ross in the K through sixth grade play. And that was a huge accomplishment for me. And then I even fast forward a little bit in that same year, there was a contest of who could sell the most candy. And there's where my entrepreneurial spirit really kicked in and it showed because there was first prize was winning here. I'm dating myself a little bit, a 19-inch black and white TV. And I set out to go win that television. And I learned how to gather help. Of course, here I am, a little girl in second grade. And where am I going to go? And I called on friends and my mom really and put it into play. And I won that television set. And today I still work in TV and I love it. And I know when I put my mind to something, I can make it happen. But then if you fast forward a lot of years, that's where the acting and the visual and performing arts really starts to take shape. It's what kept me grounded through high school, staying in the plays, being a part of it, and keeping me connected to school and education when it was very tough for me as being dyslexic and struggling in school. But I knew I always had to do enough to be able to be in the plays and be on stage. And I pursued acting for a long time before I really found my passion going, behind the camera, because I started a company called Images and Imagination Children's Theater so I could be on stage, but then really enjoyed the producing and the directing and the writing. And by play number 2, I never went back on stage, but full circle, here I am a little bit back in my stage and my light again.
Yes, you are, because you also have a television show, which talk a little bit about that.
Well, the TV show that I executive produce is Spirit of Innovation, which is news and information for Riverside County, which in Riverside County, you live in San Diego County, you have lots of media. But I'm right outside your county and we have no media. We tap into the LA market media. And so our 2.4 million people here in Riverside County don't get anything local or regional. So we started 4 years ago a show called Spirit of Innovation, which brings out innovative stories for businesses and community members and residents to really highlight what they're doing, as well as a little bit of current event, economic news, business news that really make a region thrive. And we now are on broadcasted all throughout the county, as well as all the different places that you can find things and television shows, from YouTube to social media and our website. But it also works as a vehicle for those that are learning the industry. So we have industry professionals that, do what they're supposed to do to put on a TV show, but everything from job shadowing to internships to apprenticeships to adults with developmental disability that we're training, and they work and produce segments or participate in segments, whether that be in the writing or the camera or the on-camera talent to post-production and graphics. So it serves a lot of purposes and we're really proud of it.
That is so great. And, we titled the show Hollywood Needs More Talent, and it's not just in front of the camera, it is behind the camera too. And we're in, as you and I both know, this age of video is not going away. The landscape of the industry changed a lot thanks to the recent, pandemic. And it was sort of evolving anyway, that there are unlimited channels and opportunities now. And there's never been a better time to, use your talents this way, all the work you do, Diane, is so heart-centered and in service. And so I love everything that you're doing, and that you're giving so many people the opportunity to learn these skills, to use these skills, to master these skills, to take their talents to the next level. Yeah. So talk a little bit about you and your husband, Scott. So how did you guys meet? And now you work together, and he's an actor. Is he still acting?
He does here and there,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, how did we meet? We met actually where most actors meet, in a restaurant, waiting tables, going back, 35 years ago now, when we were both, working and trying to find our way to break into the industry. And, that's what you were, when you were talking before, and I really think about what is my true job that I do today. And I make dreams come true. And, and I provide hope. And over the last couple of years, we're in a mastermind together, and I found an acronym for hope, because I used to always say, I make dreams come true. I provide hope. And then that acronym got defined by help one person every day. And it just totally opened up my world in having so much purpose that I didn't even see that came through. And, and then I even made an acronym for dream, so when you actually have a dream, you can get some direction, and you can realize and elevate and action with momentum. And so those are all things that I really think that that's what my job is today, even though I get to do these great creative things. And I do it with my husband, so, there is so much joy in that. I'll never forget the day going back, 20 years ago, when I came home late working in reality television, and he was on set that day. And, he raced to go pick up our son from childcare. And I came home late from working on shows like Survivor and Big Brother, and feeling very drained. And it was, what if we could open our own production company? And we did corporate video, and he just kind of laid it out. And I looked at him and I went, yes. And that's where I learned to pack my own parachute and jump and trust myself. And we never looked back.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that were just, in the manifestation, as you were saying in the beginning, because that's what I always said, is I wanted my own production company, and we made it happen.
You did. And that is such a testament, everybody, for you designed the business that exactly the way you wanted it to be. You put what you loved about in it, and said, what if we could do this? And it was just right there and available for you. And so now what you get to do is you get to pour everything into your own thing. You're giving your best to you and your community, which is amazing. You have your partner in love and business and life by your side. I've been to your studios. I've been to some of your events. The energy there's so much love there. I've met many of your team members. It's amazing, or community. And it's just
JDS family.
the JDS family. That's right. And it's so fantastic. And you're proving that you can just do anything you want. And that's why you're here, because Diane, I showcase people who have made transitions and reinventions in their life. And whether your situation was fine the way it was, but you wanted better. You saw the frustration, you saw the fact that you couldn't control your time, you're really at the mercy of somebody else. And you're like, no, we're doing this. And that's, I think, one of the biggest, most powerful messages that we could take away from today is doing that. Me too, with this show. I created the show I wanted to create. I'm building the network I want to build, and it's so much more fulfilling. And I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but I feel I have never, quote unquote, worked harder in my life, except it doesn't feel like work. I pour so much into this. because it's so fulfilling. And I've seen your wall of stars. Talk about your kids and the acting school and what's happened for some of your amazing students.
Well, it's been definitely a ride since we've opened the actor studio. So when we first left LA, we opened our production company and we started doing video production for corporate marketing and internal and external communications. And my husband, who is the actor, got the acting itch. And at the same time, our kids, now not one, but two and three kids later, they didn't have the arts in the school that we had. And if you remember going back to my second grade, how much that was really pivotal for me all through school. And we thought that it was super important for our kids to have that. So we went to our elementary school where our oldest and middle were in school and said, what if we did an after school drama club? And they loved it. And they said, well, go write it up and get it through the district. And so I put something together and put a little curriculum for 8 weeks. And we thought maybe we'd have 10, 15 kids that would turn out. And 55 kids turned out for this after school 8-week program. And through there were professional actors who were hauling all the way up to LA that were like, oh, can you teach? Can you do this? Can you coach? And so that's where we started to really see, find a need, fill a need. And there were all these young actors, children that were wanting to break into the industry. And I remember some of the pit holes that I had fallen in, wanting to try and break into the industry and the money. And it was all, you had to be careful not to buy into someone selling you a dream. And so we wanted to really create a place that we could train actors and give them the pathway that they wouldn't have to fall into the pit holes of spending thousands and thousands of dollars that families just don't have. So we created our method of show and business, and that's where Scott is the show and I'm the business. And we started launching actors into the entertainment industry and checking back in with the connections that we had made when he was a working actor and I was a working producer, and casting directors and agents that we had worked with, and they came out and they started representing our students and giving them better representation than we even thought was possible, because they started booking things like CSI and Super Bowl commercials. And so we've launched well over 100 actors into the mainstream entertainment industry that are making very profitable money for their future, as well as adult actors who are now using it as careers. And through that, people have collaborated together, and they've made films that have gone on to film festivals and they've won awards, and they're now working as producers and directors, some here locally, some up in LA, some down in San Diego area. So it's just been a whirlwind the last, at this point with Actor Studio, about 13 years. And, it's a pleasure to be able to ensure that people are being able to, work their passion. Because if you can't work your passion and find a way to turn passion to profits, then, you're not fulfilling your purpose and living your dream.
Totally. You're missing out. It's so great. Over 100 careers. That's so fantastic. Okay, let's talk about your book. Your book is called Show Business: Breaking into the Industry as an Actor. And you and Scott co-wrote this book together. So talk about, why did you write the book? Why did you want to write the book?
Because we wanted to reach more people than just who could come here in Temecula. We get people who come from San Diego, who come from into Riverside, even people who are actually in LA that come to us. But, you get beyond that, you can't really drive here for a 2-hour, 3-hour class. And so we wanted to find a way to be able to reach more people across the US, really, and across California. And I feel like we have started to do that. I get calls today. Our book ended up at Miami-Dade College, and they use it for one of their classes. And, we have people that are now, they're like, I've always wanted to come out to LA. And, we can even give them tips of, if you're going to move and you're going to make that jump, how is the best way to do it? What are some other ways that you can also make an income while you're trying to build your career? Don't be afraid of extra work, but do it smartly. How to build smart credits on your resume and get paid, and don't do the ones for free that aren't going to get you anywhere. And when there is, work with the USCs and the UCLAs and the UC San Diego film students. They're your next Spielbergs and your next big directors and producers that are coming along if you want film. But realize in this industry, all the other avenues. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Even look at us today. We're on TV. We're doing TV shows. There's so much content being created today between streaming and cable and all the independent channels that are out there, from industrials to commercials. It's not all union, non-union stuff anymore. They're collaborating. Get your passport, because you're going up to Canada and you're flying, to other places in the US. So be prepared to travel. It's not all done just in Hollywood. And that was the real purpose of the book, that you too can live your dream, even if you're in middle America, and make this happen.
So many great tips. So everybody, the book is called Show Business: Breaking into the Industry as an Actor. And we're going to have a link for it in the description. You need to get a copy of this book and learn, because even just the few tips that you just shared, I mean, those are things that people, I'm sure, didn't even think of. Like, oh yeah, I need to have my passport updated. There's opportunity everywhere. And believe in your dream. Believe in your dream. Harrison Ford did not start acting until he was in his 40s, right? There's many actors. I think I don't want to misquote.
Most actors,
what?
Most actors that, they all started with very small roles. You see them now, and I always tell actors, do you want to be an actor, or do you just want to be on Disney Channel, or do you just want to be an actor? In that sense, you've got to, you have to sell toothpaste if you want to be an actor. So think about it in that world of all the ways that you can chameleonize yourself to break into this industry and work in this industry, love the industry. I mean, that's how I found myself behind the scenes, producing, writing. Something I never thought that I could do was write. Here's a young dyslexic girl, and I have not only written a book, but 2 books. I've sold a screenplay. Those are things that have happened in my life because I didn't let limiting belief get in my way. Being an actor, you have to be an entrepreneur. You can't just be an actor and get an agent and think it's all going to happen for you. You have to be a part of those casting networks and self-submitting and putting yourself out there. Get together with your other creative friends. Find ways to learn camera work and editing work. You have to be able to build your own website to be able to get your stuff out there, because producers and directors and casting agents are finding people different today. So you have to go with all those new methods as well.
Mm-hmm. Right. So be smart, be strategic, follow a blueprint, follow a plan. You have so much information in the book on how to do that. I want to just encourage anybody, anything worth doing, any dream that you have, the rewards of going through the journey to get there is the most rewarding. If it just automatically happened for you, then where is that rewarding feeling? If you ever get things too easy, too much of the time, there's actually a level of disappointment. There's a Rumi quote, and I'm just going to state a couple of things from it, but you got to press the olive to get the oil out of the olive. And you have to, diamonds are created under a tremendous amount of pressure too. The butterfly's most painful moment is breaking through the chrysalis, and the seeds grow in the dark. right? So you don't know what's coming yet. You're in the dark a lot of the time, but you have to do all the things that Diane is saying. And you've done it in your career, which has amassed tremendous amount of success and experience, right? Your determination and your tenacity and your grit to not allow a quote unquote diagnosis about who you are. You just refuse to let that stop you from achieving your dreams. So you can make excuses or you could start the execution of it. And it may not be easy, of course, but the more you pour into it and do that work, the more rewarding it is, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, that's phenomenal. And I never heard anybody use the word, I had to write it down, chameleonize yourself. That
Yes.
is so powerful. You got to be everything, right? You do. Yeah.
You do. And you don't have to know what everything is.
Right.
That is, I always say, and this is the best manifestation tool that I have, is I see it at the end. And then you take the next step that's in front of you. You don't have to know what all those steps are, because if I knew what every step was and I had the perfect plan all written out, then I wouldn't be where I am, because I wouldn't have known when I needed to pivot. I wouldn't have known when I needed to go and, raise that same pathway into another direction, or take someone along with me from that pathway to a new pathway. Those are the things that reveal itself. If you just keep taking that next step when it reveals itself and it's there, and you keep that end vision goal in mind, you will manifest it. It will expose itself. The path will clear in front of you if you just keep taking that action to that momentum, and you build it and you grow. And that's the dream. That's the dream. You got to have that direction and that realization. You evaluate it, you take the action, and then that momentum carries you. And then you got the hope, right? And it happens. You put those people around you, and your manifestations happen.
They do. So brilliantly said. Jim Carrey years ago, when he wasn't making it, he kept his belief, unwavering belief. I love this. That's truly how we manifest. You must have unwavering belief. You must cast aside the doubt. And he carried around a check for 10 million, right? It was $10 million. And he gave himself a deadline, and he got the part I can't remember the movie now. I want to say it was Dumb and Dumber or something like that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the beginning ones.
That was the exact thing that he asked for, unwavering belief, and having the hope, and being just what you said, Diane. So know what that end goal is, and then take that next right step. That's my mantra too. My mantra is, let's just see where this goes, and every day take that next right step, and the next right step, and the next right step. Yeah. And you figure it out.
And sometimes you take a left step, sometimes it happens, and that's okay, because, sometimes those things have to happen so a shift can happen.
Yep.
And we can bring those things together. I mean, I see it every day in the adults that I work with disability, that they just have hope, and they have such determination, and they know they have challenges and they have barriers in front of them, but they know that they're putting the right people around them, and then they just work hard, and we see their dreams come true. I have placed over 6 adults with developmental disability into editor jobs, camera jobs, social media jobs, graphics. We have 5 that are now signed with an agent that are starting to audition and work in the industry. So that's like over 10 people that 4 years ago, they may have had a dream. They had no idea how to do it, but we gave them a little bit of hope and a little bit of hands-on skill training, and look at them go. Look at them go.
Yeah. Because they too had the unwavering belief, and they had the support from you, which is so, so, so good. All right. So what for you has been or is right now, your biggest challenge, and how are you, or have you overcome it? Now I know the dyslexia was in second grade, but as you've been growing your business, because this is the thing, we all have these growth, I call them growth opportunities too. So what is that for you?
Well, growing pains are real. They've affected me much more in my business growing pains than ever growing up as a child in hindsight now. But, I for sure would not change my hardest or most devastating entrepreneurial day for even my best day prior to being an entrepreneur and living my dream. I'm still going through some of those growing pains and scaling and leveraging. We're looking to really grow our nonprofit organization and be able to. We started a campaign. It's Arts Across California, Arts Across America. So those who want to do what it is we're doing, we're going to start teaching the teachers and being able to create other academies in other places around the state, around the nation, to be able to help others who want to reach their goals in visual performing and digital arts. So I'm still in that uphill scale, model that has been very challenging, going from a mom and pop entrepreneur to becoming a nonprofit that, is well over $1 million a year and has, 15 to 17 employees, managing all of that. Those are some difficult moments in there, but at the same time, the most rewarding moments. I mentioned earlier the hashtag JDS family. We really have that culture around here. So we really support each other. The employees who come to us, I know they're not going to be here forever. I'm a great entry level job to be able to help groom them and mold them. And they're going to go off to be fantastic artists and creators and all of those things. So I'm always having somewhat of a revolving door in that sense. But it's wonderful because then they come back and they show us all the great things that they're doing and get involved in DigiFest and other things that we have. So they're not gone for long, but they're not here building the dream anymore.
Yeah. You're raising those babies and sending them off,
Yeah.
which is so great. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Diane, wow. That your nonprofit is $1 million, over $1 million is impressive too. Okay, a couple more questions. You call yourself a serial entrepreneur. What is it that drives you to do all that you do?
Well, my why is my family. There's no doubt about that. Everything that we have built, it all starts with JDS, and JDS are the initials of my children. They all start with J. Their middle initials are all D, and I'm also a D. And then my husband is Scott. And we're all Strands. So, my why is really my family. And then also just being able to see people reach their potential and their purpose in my professional life. That's what keeps me up at night, as far as, did we do this? And can I make sure that I can get them there? And I have to go make this connection so they can, start putting Disney on their resume, and, all of these things that, pop into my brain. That's my why, to make others, feel like they can have purpose too. And then to go home and, my babies aren't babies anymore. They're big kids now. And, but I still get my hug moments.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. So I'm going to ask you a question I ask all my guests. And the question is, how do you live the I Have Today way, which is intentionally? And can you please start it with, I have today too, because we take all our guests' intention statement behind I have today, and we share them with the community.
Well, I'm going to keep with the theme that I've had going on today, which is I have today to make somebody's dream come true. And I take that solely to heart, and make sure that, the 20 people that are in the room next door to me, that they have dreams to realize, and that my kids grow up. So I have today to make their dreams come true too. And I love that because I take it one day at a time. And and one foot in front of the other. I know what I see at the end. And each day I take a step in whatever reveals itself. And that's what I love about being an entrepreneur is I do something that I've never done before every day. So I have today to dream.
Well said. Well said. I love that. That's one of my mantras too. If you wake up today and you did the same thing that you did yesterday, then you didn't grow, you didn't expand, and there's no such thing as stagnation. So if it's not here, it's here. And I love that too, that each day of your life can look absolutely new and different, do something new and different. So powerful. All right. Is there one piece of advice that you would like to share with the audience?
Trust yourself, pack your own parachute, and jump. Jump. You have today, jump. Make your dream come true. That would be my advice. Don't let anything hold you back. Take that next step, whatever it is. It can be a baby step. Take that next step. Jump.
Beautiful.
Trust yourself.
Pack that parachute and jump and trust. Beautifully said. Well, Diane, we're showing the banners right here. If you want to find out more about Diane Strand and what she's doing, you can go to www.jds/productions.com. And then we're scrolling her usernames at the bottom at Diane Strand, at JDS Actors Studio, JDS SC Creative. Oh, no, I did that wrong. Hang on one second.
JDS Creative. At JDS Creative. That's the nonprofit.
At JDS Creative, that's the nonprofit. At JDS Productions, and hashtag is JDS Family. Check that out because I'm sure there's some amazing photos there too. And then, of course, we're going to have a link for your book, Show Business: Breaking into the Industry as an Actor. So get your copy of this. It is phenomenal. So well written, and I love the stories in here and all these gorgeous actors and just incredible work. Well, you are a serial entrepreneur and you are making it happen and you live by hope, and you're our kind of people here at I Have Today. And so I'm so grateful for us to be connected, Diane. It really means a lot to me, and thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Diane. It's been a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to have gotten to know you over the last year and watch you thrive. You were fantastic at the Women in Business. And, it was such a privilege to be able to recommend you for an event like that. And boy, did you bring the nuggets. And, your audience out there is fantastic. And what you do to inspire people inspires me. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, that was, it was a beautiful event. There were almost 500 women there. There were 470, something like that, in a spectacular day. And the love and support I got, the outpouring was just so fantastic. The whole community is amazing. So, and you're a part of that as well. So you got a lot of hats, girl.
Well, good. So, well, you come up and visit us in Temecula anytime.
I will. And I know that we'll be doing more things together. It is a certainty. So, all right. Well, have a beautiful today, Diane, and I'll see you soon. All right. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Fantastic, right? Isn't she amazing? What she's built, her so heart-centered, and it shows in everything she does. So I feel so blessed to do what I do, you guys, sometimes, because I get to meet amazing people like Diane. So we're going to have information about her book and, of course, links to everything that we shared today. All right. So what I want to do next is I want to talk to you all about speaking of the media industry and Hollywood needing more talent. The world really does need your talent, and Diane's businesses and her nonprofit are ways to definitely break into the business in terms of acting and production and video and all of that. And one of the things I'm doing is teaching you how to launch and start in your own TV show, Diane has a show, I have a show, and there's a lot of people out there who want to do this, but maybe they don't know how. They don't understand, what's the first step? You have the outcome in your mind, but then what is that first step? Well, I'm here to help you figure that first step out by giving you the opportunity to get a free guidebook that is titled The 7 Secrets to Become a TV Star Host. And this is a free guide that I have available for you at tvhostmaker.com/secrets. tvhostmaker.com/secrets. Now, I've been in the media industry for almost 40 years. I've had my own show for the past 5 years. I've seen a lot. I've worked on many, many brands. I've seen what advertising has done for many of my clients. I've seen what television has done for my career, especially with the creation of the Spifter, changed my life twice before I even became a life and mindset coach. So what I'm sharing with you are these top 7 secrets that you need to know to become this dynamic TV host. Whatever your industry or business is, you're an expert in it, and I'm certain that it's a crowded field. So you really have to be good on video, really good on camera, and a TV show is a great way to do it. So these 7 secrets that I'm sharing with you, like 99% of the people out there don't know it. So how would you like to be in the top 1% in the talent pool to stand out? It's totally changed my life, and I hope that this will change yours too. So get your free guide at tvhostmaker.com/secrets. Okay. All right. Now, as we end the show, I also want to encourage you to subscribe to this show. Now, where you can catch our show is we're on the E360 TV network. Download e360.com. Obviously, the show is called I Have Today, but you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, both called I Have Today with Diane Forster. If you prefer to listen to podcasts, it's also available at I Have Today with Diane Forster on all podcast platforms. So easy to find. All right. So how we're ending this show is we always end the show with a mantra meditation so that we can anchor in everything we've learned today. So you can leave here different at the end than you did at the beginning. Remember what Diane just said? No 2 days alike. I want your experience to be different. I want you to be shifted. So we're going to do that right now. So unless you're driving, if you are driving, listening to this or watching this, hopefully you have your eyes on the road. You can't close your eyes, but for everybody else, just take a moment. Let's just take a moment to be present and intentional and let this anchor in. I'm going to walk you through a process where you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. I want you to pull that air all the way down to your root chakra. We're going to hold it for 8 as I count. I want you to send that energy to all your 8 chakras. That would start with your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown, and then your soul star, which was right above your head, about a foot or so. Very important chakra because that cleans up that karmic residue, as my friend Katie Bray says, and allows you to receive. Your intuition gets dialed up. So here we go. We're going to do this breath 2 times and then just listen to the words. Here we go. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. You're going to breathe it out for 8 seconds like you're blowing out birthday candles. All right. I want you to get all that toxicity out. Ready? All right. So breathe in for the count of 4. Hold it for 8 as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out for 8. Get it all out. It feels really good. All right, let's do it again. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 8 as we count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I think something really good did just happen to me. I got to understand that I have today to become the star I was born to be, and that there are people in the world like Diane Strand who's devoting her life to helping you become the talent, to become the star, to make your dreams come true with no limits, absolutely no limitations, and that all you need to do is know what you want and follow whatever that next step is. There are no mistakes. Everything is a lesson. Everything is valuable, and you will get there because you have so much support in this world. People are looking for you. You are so talented, and you need to shine that bright star that you are as brightly as you possibly can in this world. You're not too old. You're not too young. You're not too inexperienced. You're none of those things. If you've got a dream and a desire, you can make it come true. You can start at any time. And today is the day that you get to do this. So on this day and every day forward, stay focused on your dreams. Dream big with no limits. You can manifest anything that you want. You can pivot along the way. Be open and receptive to the possibility that more will come into your life than you could ever dream possible. And Diane is a dream come true maker. I'm also a dream come true maker for you. It is our goal and role in this world to live our dreams to the highest, greatest, fullest potential. So go do that today because you can. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, that's it for this week's show. Thank you so much for being here. It's my privilege and honor to be your host. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.